The Supreme Court handed down several more opinions today, leaving Donald Trump's presidential immunity case and one involving January 6th rioters for another day. One major decision today, the justices ruled that emergency abortions can be performed in Idaho after the opinion was unintentionally released yesterday. The case focused on the split between Idaho's near total abortion ban and a federal law which requires hospitals to provide stabilizing care to patients, including abortions. The ruling did leave key questions unanswered, meaning the issue could likely appear before the justices again before too long. Also today, the justices rejected a nationwide settlement with opioid maker Purdue Pharma, blocked an EPA plan to reduce the spread of smog between states, and granted people accused of fraud by the SEC the right to a trial by jury rather than in-house testimonials. Jessica Levinson joins us for more from Los Angeles on all of this. She's a CBS News legal contributor and Loyola Law School professor. Jessica, first, the abortion case. I get the sense that neither side here, both those in favor of more abortion access and those against, are entirely happy with this ruling.
Well, I think it is a temporary win for the Biden administration. We are talking about a case where we're talking about a hopefully small set of women, where there's a difference between walking into an emergency room in Idaho and your health and life are at risk, where the federal law would say you can get stabilizing treatment, and that might include an abortion, versus the Idaho law that says you can only get that treatment if your life is at risk. I think you're right, though, that everybody acknowledges this is temporary. And that's part of why we saw the split that we did in the court, where we saw the more conservative members of the court saying, I'm ready to decide. We saw Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, one of the more liberal members of the court, saying, I'm ready to decide. Now, they were ready, to be clear, to decide totally different things as to whether or not there was a conflict between those two laws. But I think, frankly, this case is an acknowledgement by both sides. They're not ready. They're sending it back. But we are talking about not a hugely opening up abortion care in Idaho. It's really about, do you get that care if your health, in addition to your life, is at risk when you're in an emergency room?
Legally speaking, it's pretty fascinating. Turning to the Purdue ruling now, the justices rejected that settlement that would have protected members of the Sackler family from civil lawsuits, but also contributed billions of dollars to combat the opioid epidemic. At least that's what the settlement would have done. What was the reasoning behind this?
So in this case, the court said, you know what, this is not the right vehicle to try and bless this settlement, that we're talking about bankruptcy court, and Purdue Pharma had declared bankruptcy. But as part of this big bankruptcy plan, what the Sackler family and those who made claims against them tried to do is create kind of a side settlement where the Sacklers would get immunity from further liability, and those states and localities and Native American tribes and individuals who were going to sue the Sackler family would get a determined amount of money. And what the court said today is you can do that, but you can't do it as part of a bankruptcy plan. So it really was about reading the bankruptcy statute and saying, this isn't the right way to do that. I will say implications for other big injury scenarios. I'm thinking about the Boy Scouts. I'm thinking about the Catholic Church.
I'm going to try to whiz through these last two cases as well here quickly. The EPA's plan to reduce air pollution, which was to reduce air pollution traveling from upwind states to downwind states, they put that on hold. What would that plan have entailed, and why was there backlash?
So this was the so-called good neighbor plan, where the EPA said that if you emit a lot of pollution, then you should try not to do that because there are other states next to you. Essentially, that pollution doesn't know any sort of state boundaries. And the short version of this is very much like the abortion case. The court said things have changed. We're going to send this back to the lower court. Maybe it will come back to us, but not right now.
Okay, and that's all the time we have for right now. Jessica Levinson, thank you very much.
Thank you.